This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is sponsored by the good folks over at ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Fire up ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E, and check out today's daily deal, which gives you 20% off select items from Bloom Farms on orders $50 and up. You just need to use the discount code BLOOM upon checkout to knock 20% off your total. Bloom Farms has vape pen cartridges up for sale today, both of the generic variety as well as some all-in-one units and a couple of PAX era refills. And remember, if you happen to catch this episode after today's deal from Bloom Farms expires, fret not, dear listener, because Ease has different daily deals for their customers all the time. So you can just fire up ease.com to see what your current offering is. That's ease.com for legal California marijuana delivery of products that are properly tested, packaged, and labeled. Huge thanks to everyone at Ease for stepping up and supporting today's news. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Tuesday, October 16th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 592 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story of the day is another big acquisition, with Canadian giant Canopy Growth scooping up the assets of Colorado-based Ebbu for $25 million Canadian in cash and 6.2 million shares of Canopy stock, each of which right now is trading right around the $56 a share mark, leaving the total value of those shares well north of $340 million. There's an additional $100 million Canadian available to Ebbu's sellers if certain milestones are hit. This deal will give Canopy all of the intellectual property rights held by Ebbu, which began life as a company trying to break cannabis down into component parts so as to standardize the effects felt by users. Canopy says Ebbu's IP will be applied right away in helping to cultivate cannabis and hemp. The deal still needs approval by both the Toronto and New York stock exchanges. This one's today's top story for a few reasons. First, the size, as there are a lot of zeros on the ends of those aforementioned numbers, but also because of which company is doing the buying. Canopy Growth has billions of dollars in the bank and a lot of valuable stock with which to go shopping. I imagine we're going to hear a lot more about U.S. industry acquisitions from Canopy, and for other well-funded Canadian cannabis companies for that matter. The rollout of New Jersey's expanded medical marijuana industry is being pushed back just a little bit after a flood of business license applications came in following the announcement by the state that it was doubling the number of vertically integrated medical marijuana companies from 6 to 12. New Jersey cannabis state regulators have 146 applications to go through before they can choose the 6 business license winners, something they had hoped to do by November 1st. But late last week, the State Department of Health announced that it would not make that November deadline and that they weren't exactly sure when they would be ready. Given the 6 months or so that it will take the newly licensed companies to spool up and get product out to shelves, the delay means that new shops won't be up until at least next summer. New Jersey's ranks of registered medical marijuana patients currently totals around 33,000 people, double the amount from where it was at the start of the year. Mr. Kyle Yeager over at Marijuana Moment helps us top out our top headlines today with a story about the increase in scientific studies being done that involve marijuana in some way. A team of researchers in Israel looked at the number of studies listed on online research databases and found that cannabis-related studies have skyrocketed in recent years. You should click over to this one for the full read and to check out the accompanying stats, but one of their more telling details is that in 2000, there were just 82 studies listed for cannabis topics. In 2018, that number rose to 742. One of the tactics that prohibitionists love to pull out when arguing about legal marijuana is claiming that more study needs to happen, usually as they are also making it harder for any kind of academic research to take place. As more and more scientists pick up new cannabis research topics, that stupid prohibitionist excuse will melt away, just like nearly all of their arguments. Give this one a read. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. The cool thing about Ease.com is that it's a great site to fire up anytime, no matter if it's during legal California delivery hours or not, because of all the useful bits of editorial insight and analysis the team over at Ease has developed using smart polling, sharp writing, and their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. A couple of the newer pieces over at ease.com/home looks at the potential marijuana has in the realms of skincare and treating inflammation. Health and wellness is a hugely growing part of legal marijuana, so reading articles like the ones they have over at ease.com/home are an important part of keeping up to speed on the latest evolutions in our market. Do your homework over at ease.com/home and then stock up on all your favorite legal California marijuana products for delivery at ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. Big thanks to everyone at Ease for the support. All right, time for the Blitz. Tom Angel, writing today over at Forbes, picked up on an interesting story about the American Bankers Association, or ABA, which just put out a call to its members for stories about problems at their banks caused by the federal prohibition on state legal cannabis businesses engaging in standard business banking services. The ABA told Tom via email that, quote, "We believe the time has come for Congress and the regulatory agencies to provide greater legal clarity to banks operating in states where cannabis has been legalized for medical or adult use," unquote. Another good story to read in full. Kicking off a train of headlines out of Canada, which is switching over to nationwide legal adult use marijuana tomorrow, is a story about a new policy just announced by Parks Canada allowing campers to smoke cannabis at registered campsites within national parks. Campers will be free to consume within the bounds of their own campsites, as well as on hiking trails and in the backcountry in select provinces, including British Columbia, Ontario, and Quebec. Like a lot of cannabis rules in Canada right now, there's a lot of local variation to this one, so do make sure to double check the legality of consumption ahead of any trip you take yourself to a Canadian national park. Speaking of local variation, the Canadian province of Nova Scotia just announced the pricing for the legal marijuana it will sell through the province-owned Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation. The prices will be set along 3 tiers of quality, ranging from value to core to premium. The very cheapest option will be labeled value and will run consumers between $6.33 a gram up to $8.49. Mid-grade core cannabis will cost between $9 a gram and $10.98, while premium will set you back $10.99 a gram and up, with all prices being in Canadian dollars. Those prices are set right now, but they will be adjusted based on market conditions. The Financial Post has an interesting story about the hassles involved with pasting Canadian excise tax stamps on legal cannabis products. Canadian legal marijuana companies are required to affix the stamps on all their products to show that the proper taxes have been paid, but there's been issues with standardization and how exactly to paste those stamps on in a cost-effective way. I'd give this one a read if I were you. This next story is one of those peeks at an injustice caused by the federal war on marijuana. This time we have a retired Canadian Army captain who was arrested in Ohio by agents with Immigration's Customs and Enforcement, or ICE, also known as the agency that dictator Trump uses to steal children away from their parents. Former Canadian soldier Dimitri Furman was arrested at a DMV office in Ohio on August 1st and has been held ever since because 24 years ago, when he was 23 years old, he sold a little bit of pot to a cop, was arrested, and served a month of time in a work camp. He was pardoned for the crime in 2002, but that wasn't good enough for ICE, which set up Mr. Furman's arrest at the DMV after he tried to register a truck and found his name flagged in their system. Furman is married to an American citizen and is in the process of getting his green card. This story highlights both the stupidity of the federal war on marijuana and the needless cruelty with which the Trump administration is wielding immigration law. The University of Connecticut is offering a new course designed to teach students about the ins and outs of growing cannabis. Offered by Professor Jerry Berkowitz, the course is titled, quote, "Horticulture of Cannabis from Seed to Harvest," unquote, and is one of the few legitimate cannabis-focused courses taught at accredited U.S. universities. Finally for today, a police department in Michigan got some heat for censoring pro-cannabis comments from its official department Facebook page. The Norton Shores PD was accused of hiding pro-marijuana comments on a post it published earlier this month containing false information about marijuana use and its health effects. Thanks to some quick-moving activists and a Freedom of Information Act request, the comments have been put back up, and the city says it will better train their employees on the proper use of social media. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome Patreon listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the lesser strengths of the Patreon listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.